Hey, Ben Kaiser here, jobsinthefuture.com. Today we have a myth debunked. So, why is the phrase C students own the company, A students work for the C students? What is this all about? Because when I went to college, I had plenty of C student roommates who now work at maybe Starbucks or just in retail or just simply not in the major that they were in. And there's actually a statistic done by the Washington Post that said 72.7% of college graduates are not working in the field closely related to what they majored in college. So why are we getting these stories where people like Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg and all these people are the owners of the company and they dropped out of college and then C students work for the A students? What does all this mean and where did this myth come from? Because I know a lot of C students that are not running and owning their own businesses right now. So the difference between a C student and an A student, we'll just kind of look at that and break that down. So at face value, a C student is somebody who receives average grades based on their answers or the quality of their work assessed by their instructor that they have submitted. An A student is someone who has received excellent grades based on the test answers or quality of work assessed by their instructor that they have submitted. That's pretty obvious, right? I mean, you could have deducted that without even an ounce. But have you considered the following idea? Commitment is far more powerful than intelligence. So let's say you're a C student. You're interested in statistical mathematics. You get angry and frustrated because you cannot figure out how to format your formulas to get the correct answers. And so you have one or two options. You can settle with the intelligence that you feel that you currently possess and that you were given, or you can commit to working harder and longer than the A students. Maybe never accomplishing a better grade, but having a better understanding and having learned how to learn. And I feel like that is extremely powerful because when some A students just simply go along with the intelligence that they've been given, they never stretch and grow their brain. They never take the moment to step out of their comfort zone and build a stronger intelligence and a firmer foundation in concepts that they understand but could actually understand deeper. So it's more on the level of commitment than it is general intelligence. All right. So the second thing I'm looking at here is research carried out by the Carnegie Institute of Technology shows that 85% of your financial success is due to the skills in human engineering, your personality, and ability to communicate, negotiate, and lead. And shockingly, only 15% is due to technical knowledge. So the technical knowledge in the base A student who doesn't really study hard does not compare to the ability of the C student to learn, to communicate, to ask questions, to grow. And so that's the difference there with the C student who really strives after learning something and the A student who just kind of gets by. And I'm not discrediting the A students in any way. I'm just saying the general concept and idea of it. All right, number two, who works harder, C students or A students? So truthfully, hard work is not really a measurable thing. You can't, because who's saying that hard work is not simply just looking at the book all night long? So we say, I stayed up all night studying, but they really didn't study. They just kind of got distracted and wandered away, or they didn't study correctly. So I'm going to give you a little story quickly here. When I was taking Algebra 1, I found the concepts extremely difficult. I could not grasp the ideas, and I tried and tried between playing soccer, hanging out in dinner, and just messing around with friends. But I did try to learn these concepts. And when I couldn't, I got frustrated. But I did check one idea from the teacher. He said that the homework that we have will be the same questions that are put onto the quizzes. And I thought, bam, if I can nail the homework, if I can memorize the homework, the problem with the answer, kind of like a little memory game, I can nail the quizzes and hopefully scrape by on the tests and pass this class with a C. I'm like, I got this. And so that's what I did. I didn't even learn algebra that well. I'm kicking myself today, and actually just a few months ago, I sat down, opened up my old algebra book, and really learned it for the first time. Embarrassingly enough, I'm saying that. But the point is, I studied, but I didn't learn the content. I learned a way around the content. And that is where the C student does not own the company. The C student finagles his way through life. I was foolishly doing that. I've luckily overcome that, unfortunately stepped out of that, but that is a way that a C student, you're like, wait, how do these C students not owning companies? Example right here, it's bad C student. So the third kind of thing we're going to look at is getting A's doesn't make you smarter, but learning does. And so if you show up at college, make straight A's from just a little bit of meager effort, you're just kind of studying, and it's extremely tempting to just continue in that pattern. I consider this the average A+ academics. It's somebody who is very intelligent but doesn't require a lot of work to continue to grow, so they just kind of stay at that level. But college and university is a place to learn, and sociologist Richard Arman from the New York University and Joseph Orozca from the University of Virginia performed a study on education concerning this very idea. And here's a quote. They said, students' lack of academic focus at today's colleges, however, has had little impact on their grades. So the reason being that it is only relative to modest effects on their progress towards degree completion, as they have developed and acquired the art of college management, in which success is achieved primarily not through hard work, but through controlling college by shaping schedules, taming professors, and limiting workloads. So simply what that's saying is these students have come in and they have not been learning. They have understood how to finagle college like I did in the story before. And so rather than learning, they have just decrease the level of difficulty. So it's not about grades you get, but the ability to commit yourself to working with great tenacity. Study to learn, not to achieve an A. Receiving an A is not difficult. Learning is difficult. And there's the C student versus the A student. And you're kind of seeing this dynamic of doesn't really matter the grade, but the mindset and how you're learning and if you're growing and stretching yourself. All right, so fourth, we're going to look at the attributes of a C student owner. So what type of person is really going to make that business ownership? So they have an insatiable curiosity. They're determined to discover a solution to a foreseen problem. They are not simply satisfied with the current way in which things are done. If there is no solution, or if there is not even a problem yet, they just have this innovation that they have to get out. They're willing to commit themselves to it. Consider Elon Musk. Do we have to go to Mars? No, but he is so insatiably curious about why not be a multi-planet species that he wants to go. And that is that insatiable curiosity. Secondly, strategic thinker, willing to challenge the status quo of self or idea. So they look at the industry and they say, okay, what needs to happen in this industry? And they think through it and they create dynamic ideas on how to maybe position themselves against their competition, come up with new ideas, etc. Third, strategic planning. Create a plan, stick to that plan, and assess the plan during the entire process and at the end. So they know how to take their ideas and build a step-by-step process to accomplish the end goal. They don't just dive in haphazardly. All right, fourth is they're very organized. C students that become business owners have learned how to become very organized. They organize their time, their employees, their goals, their values, and their ideas. They know when and how they plan to grow their business, and they are not easily caught off guard when things don't go as expected because they do have some sort of organized plan onto how to react to the unexpected. And fifthly, they are a good salesman. And I'm not talking about, the door-to-door knife salesman. A true salesperson simply knows how to communicate, simply knows how to give you the information you need to make a qualified decision and to motivate you towards a purchase. And sales is more than just, here, buy this. It's selling an employee on an idea, a new product to a client, or even selling personal attributes and strengths to find your mate. I mean, you really think about it, sales is in everything. When me and my wife were dating, she was, kind of convincing me on some of her great attributes, and I'm trying to convince her on my, attributes, and that is us two coming together and, in a sense, selling who we are to the other person. And that is a huge trait with a business owner, is just knowing how to communicate well and to motivate people. All right, so now that you know the attributes of a C student, it is up to you to start working hard. It is up to you to start achieving those skills. You will not learn any of them osmosis. These are things that have to be pursued. They have to be manifested and worked on in yourself. All right, so here's one more thing that I really press, and that's reading books. So there's 3 people who do an incredible amount of reading and are incredibly successful. Bill Gates said he reads some 50 books a year. It's about a book a week. Mark Cuban reads about 3 hours per day. And I thought this was pretty funny. Elon Musk claims that he learned to build rockets simply by reading books on the subject. And one book that has really helped me understand how to get my time management locked down is a book called Deep Work by Cal Newport. I'm a huge Cal Newport fan. And this book, Deep Work, really showed me how to create quiet times, create good time management to accomplish deep work, learn, and grow. Thanks for tuning in today. Please comment below if you have any pointers on what you think a C student outranks an A student and why. And we'll see you here on the next episode. Please like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Next time, jobsinthefuture.com.